Good morning, good evening, and good day. Thank you so much for watching Attack Power Gaming. Today, we hop into our next Best of Steel Division 2 with the Axis Fighters. If you enjoy this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really, really helps the channel, and it's free for you. Let's dive right in. So here we are with 4 of the best fighters that the Axis have available to them. There are, of course, many other fighters in the game, but in terms of the most powerful, best of the best, these are really the ones that stand a cut above. We have the BF-109 G6R6, the Falkenwolf 190A8, the BF-109 G6R4, and the RE 2005 series Sagittario. Now, really quick, some of the things I left off of here, I did not put the Falkenwolf D, which is only in, I believe, 12th SS, the other SS, 5th SS. I didn't put them on here because, truthfully, loadout-wise and stuff, they're much weaker than this. They're just faster. The D variant is just faster than that. I think it's D7. There are many other BF-109 variants, but in terms of which are the most powerful, these really kind of are it. We're going to use our BF-109 G6R6 as kind of like our baseline of strong fighter, because you see these a lot. There's a lot of divisions that have BF-109 G6R6s in whatever weird variation they happen to be. And then there's an Axis version of this plane, which is exactly the same. There are many versions of the Falkenwolf, like 190. There's the A6, there's a G something something. I can't remember all the letters. This one is the best one because of this here, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's start with the BF-109 G6R6. It has quite an impressive loadout. It essentially basically has 3 20mm cannons and 2 13mm machine guns. Really what you want to do when you're looking at airplane damage is kind of add up the numbers here. So we can see we have 2.58, 1.29, and 1.12 coming to a grand total of just about 5 points of damage at the end of the day. They reach out to 800 meter range across the board. This rate of fire is really just, this one's double because it's 2 of them, right? These stats are quite important too for fighters. We have a speed of 560 kilometers an hour, the agility of medium, and resilience of bad. Let's hop down here to its variant of the G6R4, and the only difference here is simply that it has 2 30mm cannons instead of 2 20mm cannons in this position here. And that really changes the match. You can see 2.58 versus 4.8 damage. It is a little shorter range. That is something to note. It's going to have to get a little bit closer to its opponent to actually start firing these 30mm cannons. But if we do the math here really fast, we have 5.8 up to 6. This deals over 7 damage versus the about 5 damage that this one does. So that's a significant increase in damage that this BF-109 G6R4 can output versus its G6R6 cousin. Hopping over here, the Falkenwolf 190A8, one of the most powerful fighters in the game. We have 4 autocannon, 20mm autocannons with 2 13mm machine guns. It has a speed of 600 kilometers an hour with a bad agility and a resilience of medium. This is quite the handsome fighter. If we add up the numbers here really quick, we get about 6.5 damage out of this thing at a time. And coming to our last option here, we have the Sagittario. We have the same kind of setup as these guys over here, just kind of like flipped around. 3 20mm with 2 12.7mm machine guns, which are essentially very similar. A little bit weaker than these, but very similar. It has a 600 kilometer per hour speed with good agility and bad resilience. So let's start comparing. First things first, in terms of what does the most damage, we of course can determine that the Falkenwolf and the G6R4 are easily the most dangerous of the pack here in terms of damage. These guys will put out a crap ton of damage, and you want to be very careful about head-onning these planes because they put out so much damage, there's a good chance they'll actually shoot your plane down if you head-on these guys straight up. The next most important thing is probably our speed here, and we can see that 600 kilometers is the top rate of speed for any of these fighters, making that 560 of this guy just a little bit underwhelming. It will have a hard time catching other fighters. 560 kilometers per hour is on the slow end of high-end fighters. And when we're talking about the more expensive ones, these will easily catch most bombers. It will easily catch, cheaper fighters. But in terms of like, your high quality stuff, it's going to have a hard time catching up to some of those really fast things. The 600 kilometers per hour is not way better, but it is better. You are going to have a little bit more success catching some of those faster allied fighters using these guys over here. Now, probably the most important statistic here is resilience, and only one fighter really takes the cake here, and that's the Focke-Wulf 190. Medium resilience fighters are so much stronger than bad resilience fighters. It's really hard to, I really have to emphasize how much better a medium fighter is over a bad resilience fighter. They survive so much longer. You can head on with them. Not that you want to be doing that, but it's going to happen at some point. You're going to forget to micro, you're going to miss it, and your two planes are going to head on, their fighter, your fighter, and the medium resilience fighter will always win. If one of them's bad, one of them's medium, the medium will always win, because it'll come away with less damage and it'll be able to make another one more quickly. So that medium resilience is a huge deal. It also allows them to get after planes for a longer time frame, and survive that AA barrage. It's just really important. So medium resilience always makes a unit way better. In terms of agility, I just kind of went over this in my secret stats of Steel Division 2. This is not actually that important. It does not determine how agile and bendy and turny your plane actually is. It's more about its defense and ability to dodge flak fire and stuff. So that's why I'm not putting a huge emphasis on it, and that's why I don't often vet my planes, because that's one of the big things that goes up, and it's really not actually that helpful at the end of the day. In terms of our fighters here, the Focke-Wulf 190 A8 is definitely the strongest of the 4 German fighters, and quite frankly, it's the strongest of the German fighters that they have available. These are far and away better because of that medium resilience. They are quite fast, and they have a very, very strong loadout. These guys will win most air combat against most opponents. The Sagittario is quite strong, though. These are very maneuverable. They have a lot of damage. They do a great job. These Bf109 G6 R4s are quite deadly. Double 30mm cannons. I mean, this thing, it's a glass cannon, though. It is bad resilience. It's not super duper fast. It's not the most maneuverable, but if you can get behind something or, get in a good spot, it will shoot it down. So that's definitely the bonus. Your usual Bf109 G6 R6, it's a solid fighter, but you will definitely see it does not perform like these others really perform in these categories. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Steel Division 2 content. Have a fantastic day.